Just how big is the Islamic State footprint in India? Some arrests in Maharashtra, some in Karnataka, some in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal, flags waved in Jammu and Kashmir, all isolated incidents, or is there a bigger thread? Editor South T.H. Sudhir investigates.
Right. Thanks a lot, Gaurav Sawant. Good evening. We come to you live from Hyderabad today in this special broadcast to discuss the ISIS footprint of terror in India, especially South India. In fact, the four states of Karnataka, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh and Kerala, as well as Tamil Nadu, in fact, have sent many recruits to the Islamic State. Nearly 150 youth are believed to be under surveillance all over India, and a majority of them, in fact, come from South India. 23 people from India, again a majority from the four South Indian states, are believed to be working, fighting for the Islamic State in Syria and in Iraq. So that's really the danger of the Islamic State terror web in India, and that is what is going to be our special focus over the next 30 minutes with some exclusive reports. And for the first time, we will have people who were recruited by the Islamic State speak on camera to India Today television. You will hear first-hand accounts on how they were indoctrinated, how they were radicalized, and how they were caught by the police department at the very last minute while they were just about to leave Indian shores. Right. In fact, there is also an advisory which has been issued by the Home Ministry on Tuesday, which said that the recent multiple attacks in Paris clearly indicate the intention of the outfit to expand the area of terror action beyond the core area of Iraq and Syria. Joining me now is my colleague Kamaljit Sandhu from Delhi. Kamaljit, what does the advisory say and how real is the danger in different parts of India as well as what they are doing in Iraq and Syria?
Well, MHA has been on tenterhooks since the Paris attacks, and that is why a detailed advisory has been sent to all states. And remember, whether we're talking about social network sites or whether we're talking about increasing number of youth, and remember 150 of them have already been put under surveillance. So there is a sense that this could be at an alarming proportion, considering that modus operandi of terrorist groups like the ISIS keep on changing. They're simply not just on social network sites. They could be using Telegram Messenger, encryption, PlayStation 4, other ways. So obviously this is not just the tip of the iceberg, but yes, there is de-radicalization on. The advisory continues to say that the states need to be wary, and they obviously need to check on this particular menace itself. Now remember, what is really shot in the arm for the Indian government is that there has been a large-scale fatwa by a lot of Muslim groups, clerics who've come forward and said that they should denounce ISIS. But remember, with increasing number of Indians involved, and we've seen at least 30 of them being stopped, but 23 Indians did make it abroad. Considering that this number is an increasing proportion, 6 Indians have died there. Now this is something which is going to be an increasing concern. Are more people joining in without the knowledge of Indian government? Remember, the NI has already registered a case, but definitely there is no green signal from the government yet to file an FIR. On the other hand, Delhi Police Special Cell has already filed an FIR. So this is something that all eyes and all ears of the government really are on, that they need to keep everything in check at this point of time.
Right. Kamaljit Sandhu, thanks a lot for giving us all that details and perspective from New Delhi. Now, when the online recruiters of the Islamic State cast their net on India, they were very clear on what kind of patch they were looking at. They were looking at people who were tech-savvy and young, impressionable minds, which is probably why they zeroed in on the 5 different states of South India. For the first time on Indian news television, a person who was recruited by the Islamic State speaks on camera to India Today on how he was indoctrinated and how he was detained at the very last minute when he was just about to leave Hyderabad airport.
If this 23-year-old had not been stopped at the last minute at the Hyderabad International Airport in August this year, he would have been by now one of the several faceless and nameless foot soldiers of the Islamic State. Highly motivated and radicalized by his own admission, this youth, speaking on the condition of anonymity, reveals chilling details of how the Islamic State cast his net around him and ensnared him into its web of terror.
वो फोटोज़ वीडियोस एट्रोसिटीज़ जो हो रही थी वो चीज़ें जो शेयर करते थे, स्लोली देखने लगा, इंटरेस्ट आने लगा उसमें कि भाई बुरा हो रहा है, जो भी हो रहा है, सिंपैथाइज होने लगे उनके साथ सब। वैसा होते उसके होने के बाद वैसे ही लोग फिर वैसे ही ग्रुप में ऐड करने लगे खुद ही, तो और चीज़ें दिखती रहीं, उस तरह से माइंड ये लाइन में डेवलप हो जाता है।
The youth has been asked to reach Turkey, purchase a local SIM card there and also reach a particular hotel. He has then asked to use hotel's Wi-Fi to download Telegram app to further communicate with his handler. His friend was also promised money to travel from Hyderabad to Turkey.
Investigators say Telegram app with over 60 million active users around the world has become the preferred communication tool for the Islamic State to connect, share videos or broadcast news. The Islamic State used Telegram to claim responsibility for the Paris attacks as well.
वाया टर्की जाने का प्लान था, उसके लिए वीज़ा अप्लाई कर रहे थे। दूसरा बंदा जो था उसके लिए उसको पासपोर्ट भी चाहिए था। हैदराबाद से मैं तो वो फ्लाइट बोर्ड नहीं करा था, उससे पहले ही मेरे फ्लाइट जो डेट था उससे पहले ही तेलंगाना स्टेट पुलिस को मालूम हो चुका था मेरी एक्टिविटीज़ के बारे में और आई वाज ग्राउंडेड, तो प्लान्स ड्रॉप हो गए थे।
Intelligence officials say 150 people who were influenced by the IS are under surveillance in India. The Telangana police admit young impressionable minds are easy prey in the anonymity of the virtual space.
So far, whatever we have come across, majority of the influence has been extended through social media only, through the Facebook, through Twitter, through various chat groups. So that is where these people have met, and once they started liking that particular kind of ideology, then people who give more kind of likes, or people who respond better with more than enthusiasm, those kind of people are identified and subsequently they are pursued. First they identify them on the Facebook, then they go onto the chat, they call them to chat rooms. Like that it works.
According to intelligence officials, so far 23 Indians, a majority of them from South India, have joined the Islamic State. 5 of them are from Karnataka, 4 from Kerala, 4 from Telangana and 3 from Tamil Nadu. Kerala in particular, according to intelligence officials, is an active recruiting ground for Islamist groups.
The danger is that many such front outfits practicing Muslim identity politics have infiltrated into the intellectual space. The sinister plan of the Islamic State's jihadi headhunters to use South India as a doormat to their world of terror is clearly the biggest battle Indian security agencies are fighting. With Ashish in Hyderabad, T.S. Sudhir for India Today. Now, as Paris comes to terms with the terror attack which took place last week, India Today has now accessed an official intelligence report that indicates that 5 Indian states and 4 Indian cities are on the radar of the Islamic State. Here is an exclusive report.
Our knife will continue to strike the necks of your people.
ضبط عبادة يضبط عقيدة. Et que vous n'avez pas les moyens de faire.
As the world comes to terms with the terrifying attacks in Paris, as the international community realizes the Islamic State will stop at nothing.
With America against the Islamic State.
The full extent of the ISIS threat to India has so far been a grey area. The Islamic State is known to be looking keenly at India as target and breeding ground for terror. But only now is the full picture clear in all its disturbing detail.
India Today has accessed what is the most comprehensive and detailed official intelligence dossier on the Islamic State, a document that not only lays bare the full extent of the threat of the Islamic State and it poses to India, but also specifics that are giving Indian agencies sleepless nights, especially in the wake of the Paris attacks.
The dossier accessed exclusively by India Today clearly states that 5 Indian states and 4 Indian cities currently exist on the ISIS radar. More disturbingly, the Indian government is aware that 9 ISIS operatives exist on Indian soil, with an effort growing to radicalize and recruit youth.
आतंकवाद के खिलाफ लड़ाई जो है ये सिर्फ फ्रांस और भारत का नहीं है, पूरा विश्व का इसमें जिम्मेदारी लेना जरूरी है। इसका हमारे पास चुनौती है, वो चुनौती का सामना करने के लिए जो भी कदम उठाना है वो
ISIS का खतरा आपके लिए बहुत रियल खतरा है, फास्ट ग्रोइंग खतरा है और आने वाले दिनों में आपके लिए सबसे बड़ा खतरा बन सकता है।
The truth is, India is on high alert after the Paris attack. And the details made explicit in this official ISIS dossier make heightened preparedness non-negotiable for the government. Bureau Report, India Today.
Now you would recall that Afsha Jabin, an online recruiter for the Islamic State, was extradited to India, to Hyderabad from Dubai. Now what she has revealed to her interrogators is that the virtual space was really being used to recruit young impressionable minds in India by her in different cities and towns of the country. Now obviously it means that the battle to fight the Islamic State will be fought in the virtual space. Ashish in this report explains how the network is actually reaching out to you and to me.
If you need proof about how easy it is to spread the web of terror in India, you just need to spend some time among these ethical hackers in Hyderabad. They will tell you how consumer-friendly the jihadi way of indoctrination is. Their material is available in Hindi, Urdu, Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam and many other Indian languages. And the videos featuring ISIS leaders come with subtitles in Hindi and Tamil.
They do what? They operate silently. They create groups inside there, even if they don't know only the person. They create group like ISI. So ऐसे नाम से ग्रुप्स बनाते हैं जो इजीली लोगों के नाम में नहीं आते। एक लिंक होती है, एक लिंक कोई क्रिएट करता है और वो रैंडमली सबको ऐड करता रहता है और ये मैसेज इस तरह र्यूमर की तरह फैलता है जिस तरह व्हाट्सएप में या SMS में।
With the arrest of Afsha Jabin, an alleged online recruiter of the Islamic State, Indian investigators now know how impressionable minds are brainwashed online, away from the prying eyes of the security agencies.
They have a center, I cannot call it as Center for Terrorism Excellence, but they have a center with thousands of people are sitting online and individually trying to harbor these kind of people to join the ISIS community. They connect via secure communications. They use a lot of encrypted tools and applications to communicate. So they are also once trained in such a way that if anything is being caught, if they are alerted or if they are caught or if they are trapped, they are also trained how to wipe the information as per the DoD standards.
The Telangana police admits that ability to penetrate into these closed-door rooms of hate and terror holds the key to fighting terrorism.
Definitely, the old methods of policing will no longer work in toto. Yes, the patrolling, the monitoring, the checking of bad hats, that will go on. But now, with the way the technology is developing, I think it is time that we also made ourselves technologically savvy.
Want to join Al-Qaeda or Islamic State? There are various sites available online to guide you in. This is the proof that access to various terror groups are just mouse click away. Ashish in Hyderabad for India Today.
How does a young impressionable mind really get indoctrinated and radicalized by those who are actually running these various social media groups, chat rooms, especially on Facebook? I spoke to one such youth from Hyderabad who was indoctrinated through 2014 and he was stopped at the very last minute even after he had taken a visa to go to Turkey to actually take part in the Islamic State organization in Syria. With me is this 24-year-old youth who was indoctrinated, radicalized by members of the Islamic State to join the Islamic State organization. He got in touch with them through Facebook pages. Let's hear from him directly on how this entire process of radicalization was done through social media, through Facebook. तो आपने Facebook पे कुछ पेजेस को लाइक किया, उसके बाद आपको इन्फॉर्मेशन आने लगा?
हाँ।
ये कब का सिलसिला है?
2014 मिड और स्टार्टिंग।
ये किस तरह के पेजेस थे?
ये बेसिकली वहाँ की इन्फॉर्मेशन डालते थे उन लोग।
तो आपको सीरिया में क्या हो रहा है उसमें आपको क्या इंटरेस्ट था?
नहीं, मेरे को सीरिया नहीं, कोई भी प्लेस पे कोई बर्निंग इश्यू चल रहा तो मेरे को उसमें थोड़ा बहुत क्यूरियोसिटी थी, मैं देखता था वो चीज़ें।
और किस तरह के इंफॉर्मेशन, किस तरह के वीडियोस आपको भेजते थे?
इंफॉर्मेशन वीडियोस वहाँ पे जो होता था, लेटेस्ट जो भी हो रहा था वो चीज़ें हम लोग फेसबुक पे अपलोड करते थे।
मतलब कि एट्रोसिटीज या कोई भी लोग मर रहे हैं, मार रहे हैं, उस बारे में?
हाँ।
और कौन भेजता था?
वो कोई एक बंदा था, वो भेजता था। और
क्या नाम था?
हफीज अहमद।
वो इंफॉर्मेशन और वो वीडियोस देख के आप पर किस तरह का असर होता था?
मैं उन लोगों की तरफ अट्रैक्ट होना शुरू करा, मैं उन लोगों को देखने के बाद, और इंटरेस्ट उधर तरफ आ रहा था मेरा।
जब आप इंटरेस्ट की बात करते हैं, इंटरेस्ट टू फाइट फॉर द इस्लामिक स्टेट, किस तरह की इंटरेस्ट की बात करते हैं?
इंटरेस्ट टू फाइट फॉर इस्लामिक स्टेट तो नहीं है मेरा, लेकिन इंटरेस्ट टू एड फॉर पीपल है मेरा।
आपको वहां पे आने के लिए बोला उन्होंने, आपने वीजा भी लिया, उसके बारे में बताइए।
वो आने के लिए डायरेक्टली इस्लामिक स्टेट के कोई पर्टिकुलर बंदा ने बोला, कोई दूसरे जो इस्लामिक स्टेट को फॉलो करते थे उन लोग बोले सो है वो, कोई इस्लामिक स्टेट का कोई एक पर्टिकुलर बंदा ने बोला, वो कोई पोस्ट पे है। सो
क्या बोले आपको?
कि यहाँ से आने का है, वहाँ से गए तो वहाँ पहुँचते, टर्की से जाने का है, वीज़ा के लिए अप्लाई करो, वीज़ा ये कैटेगरी का रहता, जाने के बाद वहाँ टर्की से अप्लाई करो वीज़ा, ऐसा प्रोसेस बताया उन लोगों।
तो आप पूरी तरह से तैयार थे टर्की में जाने के लिए और टर्की से सीरिया जाने के लिए?
हाँ, और वो लोग खुद जो है टर्की वहाँ सीरिया में नहीं थे, ऑस्ट्रिया के थे, जो डायरेक्शन बताए थे ऑस्ट्रिया के थे वो।
तो आपके हैंडलर ऑस्ट्रिया में थे?
हाँ।
और उन्होंने कहा आप सीरिया में इस रूट से आ सकते?
हाँ, ये रूट बताए वो लोग।
उसके बाद क्या हुआ?
रूट बताने के बाद हम लोग प्रोसेस शुरू करें, वीज़ा के लिए अप्लाई करें। वीज़ा के लिए अप्लाई करने के बाद अप्लाई होने के बाद घर पे मालूम हुआ, पुलिस वाले आए घर पे, आने के बाद हम उन लोगों को पूरी इन्फॉर्मेशन मालूम हुई, तो मैं तो जो है वहीं स्टॉप कर दिया।
आपने फैमिली में किसी को नहीं बताया था कि आप ऐसे वीज़ा के लिए अप्लाई किए?
नहीं, किसी को नहीं बताया था। मैं जहाँ से वीज़ा के लिए अप्लाई करा, वो कंसल्टेंसी को मैं फ़ोन करके बोल दिया था जब कि मेरा वीज़ा कैंसिल कर दो, मेरे को नहीं जाने का है, कैंसिलेशन का स्टैंप लगा के।
Right. One of the prize catchers was Afshar Jabin, who, as I said, was extradited from Dubai to Hyderabad in September. Let's look at what the journey of Afshar Jabin has been, from a person born in Hyderabad to actually becoming an online recruiter for the Islamic State.
The extradition of 38-year-old Afshar Jabin, allegedly an online recruiter of Islamic State, from Dubai in September was seen as a prize catch for the Indian security establishment. Her interrogation has reportedly helped the police zero in on 14 persons who were in constant touch with her. Her page had more than 50,000 members, and most of her followers were identified as people of Indian origin working in Gulf countries. The Hyderabad-born Afshar was analysed as a split personality who had even assumed the name of Nikki Joseph to lead a Hyderabad engineer, Salman Mohiuddin, up the garden path. Married to a Hindu businessman and the mother of 3 young girls, Afshar strongly believes that one day a caliphate will be established in the world, which will implement the Sharia law.
Afshar is now in judicial custody, and the Salute are busy coordinating with social media networks to get more information about those Indians who were in constant touch with her. In Hyderabad, Ashish for India Today.
Minister of State for Home Kiran Rijiju has told India Today that the government is trying to rope in Muslim clerics to check the radicalization of youth.
Is Islamic State a big threat in India, given arrests happened in Maharashtra, in Kerala, in Karnataka, in Andhra Pradesh, in Bengal there were some threats?
We have already given our commitment to support the effort of the French government, and I was representing Government of India in the condolence meeting in the French embassy, where I have read out the statement of the government of India in our commitment. So that sets the tone. So the follow-up action will take place. That need not be into the public domain.
In France, they're looking very closely at radicalization of youngsters in places of religious worship, at schools. Is that, are mosques and madrasas a threat, or are you looking at those places? Is that where radicalization is happening in India, or is it happening more on the internet?
It's the nature is same everywhere. We identify some vulnerable areas.
Which are these vulnerable areas?
See, one is you can see into the youth age where everybody looks in the, trying to get the youngsters as a, they make very fashionable religious statements and all this, religious tenets to pick up the young boys and girls, and then there are some particular religious institutions which are potential areas. There are some pockets. So it's a wide-ranging. The government has taken certain steps to deal with it, and we also invite the important religious leaders who can influence, then that don't misinterpret the religious teachings into indoctrinating the minds of the young people. There are various, phases we have to deal with that.
That's it then on the special broadcast as we focus on the ISIS footprint in India. Do tune into Up South at 6:30 p.m. as we report out of South India, especially from Hyderabad, on the Islamic State footprints in South India. News and updates will now continue on India Today.
Nisagama manipamaga Nipama nipama sa nipama ni sa pasa जहाँ तक याद आती रहेगी